Hi, welcome to the channel. Now, in this video, I'm gonna show you guys what you can do in Pixinsight with the same image that we stacked in Siril M42. Alright, I already opened the file here, and the first thing we're gonna do an auto stretch. In Pixinsight, it's called screen transfer function that you can use for that, and make sure it's unlinked. Click this button here, and you see the image. Now the second thing I'm gonna do, usually if you do something in Siril, stacking Siril, you're not gonna be able to use the photometric color calibration. I'm gonna try it first, but if it doesn't work, we're gonna have to solve the image. Let's solve it. So let's just go processes, and let's just see color calibration, photometric color calibration. Let's see if it works. Sometimes does, sometimes not. See, it's failed, so we're gonna have to solve the image. We can put this aside for a little while. So in order to do that, we're gonna go to scripts and image analysis and image solver. And then what we're gonna have to do, we look up M42 here. Quick search. There we go. Click OK. So we have our object, and then we're gonna have to check here that everything is matching. The pixel size have to be the right one. For the dwarf is 1.45, and this one is a 1x1 beating off image 4K stack. So we're gonna have to go with 100mm focal distance. So that's okay here. We're gonna click OK. Alright, it's all done. Now we can try it again with our color calibration. It worked this time. Alright. Need this. You have to auto stretch the image again. Alright, looks very nice. Now I'm gonna do a crop. I'm gonna go to the dynamic crop here, and to get rid of all these artifacts on the side caused by the field rotation. Like this. And let's just get it down something like this. There we go. I think that's good enough. So we're not gonna have all these ugly field rotation artifacts. And I just click the green check button. Yes, we're gonna lose the plate solving here. That's okay. Alright. The next one, I'm just gonna keep it short. I'm just gonna show you what you can do basically with the plate software with the same image. The next process I'm gonna use is called the blur exterminator. It's gonna take maybe a couple minutes. The settings, you can change the settings here. With images like this stacked in Siril, I'm gonna go a little more extreme here. So that's my personal setting. You can do that any way you like to if you have this software. Okay, blur exterminator works the best if you use it on a linear image, which we have right now. We didn't stretch this image right now. It does a very good job, in my opinion. It's a little pricey, but you want to have really nice images. This is one of the must-have. All right, this process is done. As you see, my stores are a lot smaller now, and I think it did a pretty good job. So the next process that I'm gonna use is also a paid soft plugin. It's called Noise Exterminator by RC Astro. I like to use this setting, the noise, I keep the noise on a high level. Details not so much, because if you take it too high, it's gonna create some artifacts that you don't want. This one is going a little bit faster. Very nice. I hope you can see that basically all those grainy noise in the back is disappeared basically. You can see really nice smoky features here around the nebula here. Still, the core is bloated, but we're gonna be able to take care of that in soon. First, we're gonna stretch the image. Okay, the next thing what I wanna do, there are some people who like to stretch the image and then remove the stars. I like to remove the stars first and stretch them before I basically add them back to the image. That works better for me. So basically I'm gonna use another paid software, paid plugin to remove the stars. It's called Star Exterminator. There are other ways to do that if you don't wanna buy this stuff, but it works very good for me. And also I click generate star image here. Also gonna take maybe a minute or so, depend on the speed of your computer and processing speed. I'm using a 2018 Mac Mini for this with 32 gigabytes of RAM and a 6-core i5 Intel GPU processor. So it's not the fastest as of today, but it works. Almost done. Alright, so basically we have our linear star image and the linear nebulosity image right now without the stars. Okay, which both of them gonna have to be stretched before we can create our final result. So what I do with the stars, I'm just gonna minimize it and put it away somewhere like this, and we're gonna stretch the nebulosity first. Okay, to do that, I can close this here. I'm gonna reset the screen transfer function. So this is the linear image form, and we're gonna open the processes, intensity, and histogram transformation. All right, we're gonna have to open up the real-time preview window here, so we see what we are doing, and then click RGB, okay, and then you can start to stretch it by pulling these to, to the left. Every time you went as far as you can apply, and then you need to reset it. You can do maybe one more time, and then you start to move backwards this way. Get in there, apply, maybe a little more to see. Like I said, don't worry about blowing up the core. We're gonna be able to take care of that. Looks pretty nice already. Well, something like this. Okay. You can, you know, stretch each channel, basically blue channel, green channel, red channel, separately also. If you don't like the look of the colors or something, you can try to remove some green, add more blue or red, something like that. Okay, maybe a little more red, I don't know. I like that running my nebula is, showing some features too. Yellow green. I don't know, something like that. I like that whitish, smoky features. Alright, so we can apply now and reset it, and then I can close this at this point. You can play with these things, all day long. Sometimes, depend what you want to achieve. Alright, so we have our nebulosity uh, basically stretched. So the next thing that we will wanna, we wanna see more features in the core area. So in Pixinsight, what you can do, we can generate a mask. We're gonna use the range selection feature, and you have to open up the real-time preview window. You see now is everything selected. So with this first slider, you can lower the limits and then just concentrate it on the core. You know, moving it slowly. Sometimes when you want to see how much is covered, you can do it like this. maybe a little more. And then you need to apply some smoothness so you're not gonna have sharp edges in your editing. It's gonna be like a nice smooth transition. And when you think it's okay, then you just click apply here. And it's gonna generate basically a I cannot. Alright, here you go. Alright, this is our mask here basically. And to apply the mask, what you need to do, this little flag need to be moved over to the target image. And you see, after that you you don't close the mask basically, because then the whole thing is gone. You can put it aside. You can close this now. And to see the whole image, you can basically make the mask visible or invisible. There we go. And now we can start to do something about the core. What I like to do, go to processes and choose HDR multi-scale transform. Alright, and I usually select preserve hue and either lightness max. You can, do trial and error, which one works best on your image. Either intensity, lightness, or lightness. For me, it works the best if I select these two, and I just need to apply now here. Alright, so here you go. As you see, we have a bunch of nice features visible in the core right now. We can close this, and then we can open up the curve transformation to add some colors maybe, or change something. This looks pretty nice already, but I just want to show that basically now we have the mask on the core. So if you want to make some more adjustments on the core, first of all, of course, I need to open up the real-time preview, otherwise you don't see what you're doing. There we go. And then now you can basically move these curves, and as you see, basically you can change the look. Yeah. Here we go. I think that's good enough. We can apply and reset. And now actually we can deactivate the mask, and then basically we can stretch the whole image this way. So if you're gonna move it now, you see everything changes, not just the core. Alright, it looks pretty much good already, in my opinion. Yeah, I like these smoky features here, so I want to keep that. We can switch over to saturation, and then basically you can add more color to the whole thing. As you see, that's very nice. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty, I would say. But if you wanna, work on different colors, there are, you can do luminosity change. Actually, we can try that too. Yeah. Maybe the core is a little too much. Yeah. I think that's good. Good enough. Alright, so we're gonna keep the, maybe it's too much green in it. Yeah, that's I think that's gonna be good enough for this presentation. Okay, so just apply. Okay, this is gonna be our nebulosity image, I guess, what we can use here. And now we're gonna take care of the stars. We have to stretch it, so now we have our star image here. First of all, we see a lot of green hue in here, so I'm gonna use the same way as in Siril, you can use remove green noise feature. The same thing here called SCNR, NR. There you go. And you can just choose the green channel and remove it. Alright, you can close it after. And now we're gonna reset this image to linear view and open up the histogram transformation, which is right here. Okay, and we have to reset it. Open the real-time preview RGB and start to stretch it, moving this slider to the left. Apply, reset, maybe one more time. I don't know, something like this. I think that's gonna be good enough for this image. I don't like to blend the stars too much. Anyway, so we can close the real-time preview window. Alright, so basically if you move it over, you're gonna see this how it's gonna look like, kinda. Okay, the next thing, we can remove the range max also. We're not gonna use this anymore right now. So we can dispose it, yes. Okay, the next feature, what we're gonna do is pixel matte, and basically gonna add the stars to the nebulosity. In order to do so, go open pixel matte, open the expression editor window, and then you see the two images open here. This is the nebulosity, so we select that, double click it, and then plus, and then double click the stars. Okay, when you're done that, you click OK here, and all you need to do is apply, and there we are. I think it looks pretty good. You can save these images now, and for further processing or anything, but this looks already very good. So I'm gonna save it to my desktop. In order to do so, click File, Save As, and well, probably I'm gonna change it to M42. Okay, and maybe I'm gonna do some processing in. If you have Photoshop, then you better save it as a TIFF file. That's what I'm gonna do, and click Save here, and make sure you put it about. You don't have to put it into. You can change it in Photoshop to 16-bit, but I just save it usually in 16-bit right away. When you open it up in Photoshop, it looks good right away. Compatible. Anyway, so after this, you can close this. Yes, and this is our final image. We're gonna save it also in TIFF. Okay, TIFF for 16-bit. Okay. All right. And we can close this, close Pixinsight also. And we have our images saved. This is the final image here. So I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. The stars are still a little bloated here in the core, so I could work a little more on that. Eventually, I could open up in Photoshop. That's what I do. Matter of fact, maybe I'm gonna do that, but not in this video. Thanks for watching.